what we want to make sure we create a little control that you can't go invite 20 and you get 20 bids back, because it sounds good in theory, but when you're actually trying to compare them, it makes it very, very difficult.
No, I think it's good to keep an upper limit for both the bride and for the vendors, because the vendors are gonna be having to deal with each one of these, and it's not like, most of them probably aren't just gonna press a button and generate a bid electronically. Someone's gonna have to go through and say, well, they want this for 3 hours, for 4 hours. It's gonna take a little bit of time for each bid to go out, so it's like, I'm sure the vendors aren't gonna appreciate getting slammed with whatever 500 bid requests if they know they're one of 20 each time.
Well, to that point, the way we get paid right now, our business model is, if you proactively, the difference is, if you proactively choose them and they're one of your favorites and you choose to invite them to the bid, that's when we get paid, and they're going to bid. So
The vendor gets an
Okay.
email and
Okay.
says, Veronica has requested that you place a bid on her wedding. He can see some quick facts on her, where she's getting married, her date, her venue. He's like, okay, I'm good on my books, I'm gonna bid on that. He pays $10 to bid, okay? The way the system does is it allows 3 vendors to come and bid on the wedding. So to your point of thinking 10, and we asked in focus groups before, what's the number that, because once all these come back, and now you got to review all the bids that came through, we said, what's a good number? And it was 3.5. Some people said 3, some people said 4. Because think about it, how many DJs are you going to go talk to? How many venues are you going to go look at? How many photographers? And it may skew,
Right.
but we kind of found out, and am I right? I'm seeing some heads nod. It's about 3 to 4 as far as how many vendors you're going to interview for each category. So having said that, and I'm kind of rewinding here. So this is our favorites card. We just showed you the page. We've got a check mark over here. Obviously, you can uncheck any of these that you
Does
don't
that mean you
want.
take away your invite to bid thing? Sorry, this was bothering me. Like, are you still gonna have an invite to bid and a favorites, because they're the same thing?
They are the same thing.
Yeah.
This is your favorites
Yeah.
that just came up.
Right, like,
And this is who you're going to invite to bid. Solutions.
Right.
Bridal Solutions
so
is
I mean,
ready
are
to
you
start
still
your
gonna
bid.
keep both on there? It just seems
I think it might be favorites, and then this green bar would be invite to bid. Is that right? Is that like the next step of the process?
no, I mean, you're definitely delineating the difference, because just because you're a favorite doesn't mean you necessarily invite them to
Right.
bid. So she's asking us, just because you save them as a favorite doesn't necessarily mean they're automatically invited. So in other words, is there another step that says, okay, now I'm going to my favorites page, am I automatically inviting all these people?
Well, I
I'm saying like
think
this looks like a favorites page.
Right.
Like
Sure.
what you'd have as your favorites page. So then what's the point of the invite to bid tab if it's just gonna take you to
Okay,
the same
so
page?
would it fix it if we did the save the favorites
Mhm.
on the actual vendor profiles, and then it took you to a save the favorites page, and
Yeah.
then you could check or select or unselect
Who
each
you
one of
want
them
to
to invite to bid?
Yeah.
it's a thought. I mean,
I mean, I was just thinking you have the invite to bid thing and the save the favorites, but they're both gonna take you to the exact, almost identical looking.
Well, do you want to?
is that a bad thing though? Because we heard earlier, I don't want to lose them, so I want to check them, add them in my cart, check them, add them in my cart. I'm
But I'm saying
researching.
maybe just rewording even instead of, I mean, I like the save to favorites, but then you could just get rid of the invite to bid altogether on the tab there.
That's what I kind of thought that was
Okay.
gonna go on.
Okay.
actually.
I thought you were
But
leaving
maybe-
both
but
of them
maybe
on
you guys
there.
didn't, but-
No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I understood.
okay.
Still up for
yeah.
discussion.
Okay.
Yeah. She kind of threw that idea out there, and then I
Yeah.
just kind of talked about invited as highlighted, and yeah, I didn't specify on that. But let me ask you this: if it was one or the other, and now you're to this page, and now we're saying we're ready to start your bid, is this self-explanatory enough to
Yeah.
know if I want to uncheck one of these and I don't want to invite them, I can do it, and if they
Yeah.
are check marked and I click save the next step, we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty self-explanatory.
So let's make sure we get that right. So we do like adding to a favorites cart. But that cart is showing up here or is not?
This,
I
I thought
thought
you were
that
saying this
was-
is
I
the
thought
card.
this is the card.
I thought this was the cart.
Yeah.
But you don't like that?
Well,
You just
no-
don't want both. You're saying,
Yeah, I'm just
okay,
saying there's
okay,
no,
I
or
got
I
it.
didn't think there was a point to both if they were gonna be the same.
I got it, okay.
All right, let me back up and ask one more question. So from the vendor profile page, you would rather only have saved to favorites, not saved to favorites, or invite to, you don't want both on there?
No, not if they're gonna,
They're gonna end up in the same
Yeah.
spot.
So you don't think you'd ever go to that vendor profile page and say, no, they're not just a favorite, I want to go ahead and invite them from that vendor profile page?
but the way it seems like I'm going through though, and I'm researching and looking at each one, I'm probably going to have at least clicked one other one that I liked on there that, and then it would take me to here and I'd say, oh yeah, that's the one. Good.
So you all think it would be transparent enough just to have saved to favorites, and then when you feel like you're done, you could go to the saved to favorites page and it would bring that up, and then
Or bid list or something, or.
Yeah.
Or the website just intuitively, once you go through the process, it's gonna bring this page up to you and bring you to this where you've selected your favorites.
Yeah.
It's just gonna do it for you. And now, I mean, to me, it's almost like going down going through the grocery store. I mean, you're putting everything in your cart and then you go check out.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want anything that's in your cart, you take it out of your cart.
you know, one thing we don't have is if they have a big list of vendors and they go and hit save to favorites on 4 or 5 of them, do we have, is there a link? Sorry, I'm getting a little confused. At the, oh, okay, sorry, I'm wrong. So save it next step. On the bottom of the vendor search page would be go to vendors page or go to save vendors. Okay. So I'm thinking of, okay, now you're kind of done looking through, you're done reviewing and searching through the vendors, and you're ready to take that next step. And we put in the save the next step, but it would say, save and go see your favorite vendors list.
And then take it here.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you brought this up of trying to invite 10 and, you know, thinking this would be saving 33%, is this too strong of a statement, Jack? Bidding brides will ensure best price and package by inviting additional vendors to your bid when one of your favorite vendors declines. And then let me ask this question to the ladies. Okay, so these are your top 4, Danielle, okay? You're gonna invite all 4 of them, right? 2 of them are gonna decline, okay? So bidding brides, we're telling you, we're not giving you the option, but we're just telling you that we're gonna invite additional vendors because you want at least 3, because when 3 or more compete, you save 33%. Are you okay with us going out and inviting similar vendors?
As long as I can approve it before.
Okay, I remember you saying that before. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you can approve it, that's cool, because you might have a vendor on there that you have heard of that you absolutely don't want to use, and you'd be annoyed if they put a quote in or something, bad blood or whatever, you know, you never know.
Okay. Veronica?
I wouldn't care if it got approved or not.
Okay.
So you're suggesting putting like a checkbox here to have biddings approved, or
Yeah, like
give
it could-
permission to bidding
yeah.
brides to substitute in other vendors?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Putting like a checkbox right next to that paragraph
Okay, so
Bidding
there's a
brides.
checkbox here, so she could uncheck it.
and say, these are the only vendors I care to look at, don't substitute anybody else in there,
Right.
basically.
Okay. We originally had that.
Oh,
And, no, and then that's okay. We kind of wanted to get rid of it because we wanted to make sure 3, from a business standpoint on the back end, we want 3 to go to the bid. We want to.
we can have it automatically checked, and then the bride will have to consciously
Uncheck it.
read it and uncheck
Yes,
it.
yes, which we had that as well.
Okay.
Yes, you're thinking along the same lines as we are. The question that Jack was concerned about today and has been from focus groups in the past is, why do I want to look at a vendor that I didn't check off from the get-go? And now you're going to add them to my bid, just like you said, I got bad blood or whatever. So talk to me about that.
Well, can you?
You read it, you consciously leave it checked. Danielle, 2 of your 4, they're booked on that date. So now you've only got 2 going to the bid. So the system's now going to bring in another to make sure that you have 3 that are going to bid on your DJ job. Is that okay? Because that one that's coming in
Yeah.
now is one that
But
you
you know,
didn't pick.
even if that one that's coming in that you don't like technically wins, can't you just use them for the bid?
Well, the only way they
like-
win is if you let them win.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is couldn't I just, even though I don't want them and I don't like them,
Hmm?
but they're on there, so they give me my 3, and can I just use them then to negotiate the price of the other 2?
Yes.
So, yeah,
Well,
it wouldn't,
hypothetically, if you got 5 bids, you could choose the most expensive
Right,
bid.
right.
You could choose whatever you want.
So I mean, they're on there, but then that would just be helping you with your 33% and
Yeah,
us.
that's true.
So, because at first I was like, why would I want them on there if I don't want them? But then I was like, oh, I can use them.
Strategically,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did I lead you down that road though? Or did you?
No, I was
Okay,
saying that
okay.
after it came out of my mouth, I was like, well,
Okay,
I almost wanted to
Veronica.
go.
I just see a little logistical problem. So let's say we're given 5 number of days or whatever for the vendor to place a bid.
Mhm.
And on the 4th day, 2 of them decline. So you have to find another extra vendor to come bid on it, get the bride's approval, wait for her to approve it. And what if she doesn't check her email for a couple of days?
You feel your pain.
And then what are you gonna do?
What we've done, because, you know, everybody kind of wanted to approve it, and I was like, oh, don't say that, is after these are your 4, I keep going to you, Danielle,
Yeah.
these are your 4, you like them, they're your favorites, they're your preferred. You click save and next step, and it invites those 4. They've got 4, all bids are gonna be 7 days, 5 business days, 7 days. If you start on Tuesday, it'll go all the way and it'll end next Tuesday. Within the first 48 hours, it's only 3 to the dance. The vendors, me, Jack, and this other DJ get an email that say, Danielle invited you to bid on the wedding. You've got 48 hours to respond. We're taking the first 3 DJs that respond to this. So if the 2 of your 4 don't respond within the first 48 hours, then the system triggers and invites this next similar vendor pod, again, with no approval. We're hoping we can stay away from that.
Well, you get, we did it this way, you'd have approval at time of submission, whether you could do that or
Oh,
not.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But
yes,
if you
good
want to
point,
stay
good
away
point,
from
good
it,
point.
I would just get rid of a lot of the wording. Just writing bids will add, in the case that one of your vendors declines, bidding brides will add additional vendors to ensure that you have competition or something along those lines. So that's just a statement, it's not a,
Right, and I think there's 2
Option.
thoughts here. What she was saying and what you're saying is, and let me paraphrase this. So, by leaving this box checked, you're saying, yes, if any of my 4 for Danielle preferred vendors decline, the system will invite more. She was saying, once those 2 declined, she wanted to approve whoever came down the pipeline. You're saying by leaving this box checked, it's already approved, which is good for us, that works for us.
so the bride would have to
Would
decide.
that be okay for you if
yes
that
or
was
no,
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up front, not a,
We're getting
yeah,
somewhere.
2 days
Okay.
later, you got
Ron,
an
what
email,
do
they
you think?
declined.
I guess that's fine, but I mean, I guess I hadn't looked at it from the point of view of, oh, I really don't want other people.
Well, you can't look at it from our point. You got, I mean.
No, I mean from Katie's point of view, like
Oh.
if there really wasn't somebody that I wanted, I guess I just hadn't thought about it from that angle, so that does make sense.
Or like I was saying, if you just get rid of, if you just make it a statement and don't put the box in there, I think that'd be okay too.
Okay.
Just, you know, just an FYI, if your vendors don't respond, we're gonna throw in some additional ones that kind of meet your criteria or something like that.
Keep your
So,
price.
far as-
Yeah, keep your
Yeah.
price, your bidding
If-
competitive.
Right.
It's
It's
all
all
about
about
price
price
at
at
that
that
Yeah.
point.
So if we're inviting additional vendors, are we inviting to ensure you've got 3 bids or 4 bids?
I thought you could only get 3.
It's not set in stone, so he's just
Oh,
asking
oh,
a question.
I thought that was.
So if you invite 5 and 4 decline, how many more do you want us to invite?
Is this back to the question of how many reviews do I want to, or bids do I want to review? 4 would be fine with me. But again, I have time to kind of browse through it, and that's just, I'd like to read different bids, offers.
Danielle, what's your number? What do you want? And it- obviously,
You're saying final number, once the bid's done, how many are left standing?
yeah, if you invite 5 and 4 of them decline, if your preferred decline, or your favorites, how many more do you want the system, how many confirmed other bidders do you want the system to have at the end? Because you and I are trying to fill up those buckets. Do we want 3 buckets full or 4 buckets full at the end of the bid with vendors that have prices attached to them?
If I only have 1 bid that came back, I'd want 2 or 3 more, and I know you were looking for 2 the definitive, but 2
We
or
said
3 wouldn't
3.5.
matter. Yeah.
You guys in that 3 to 4 range
Yeah, I
as
mean-
far as, when they come back?
When I shop competitively, I usually get at least 3 quotes from whatever it is that I'm looking for.
Okay.
So 4 would be perfect.
Okay. All right, so let's slide. Rachel, what time is it?
7:30.
Okay, so one switch that you guys are gonna see that have seen this before is we haven't built our DJ package yet. Okay? We dove right in and we looked at vendors, and now you send this, save the next step, so now it's gonna go to DJ package, okay? We've really slimlined this from all the questions that we were asking about music and everything else. So we're gonna ask you, how many hours of service do you need? How many DJs do you need? Please check all the services that you want included in your package. Obviously, they're all checked right now, but you may want ceremony music, lighting, fog machine, and give me the bubble machine. That's what I want in that package, okay? Identify the music preferences below that you would like to discuss with your DJ. You can check mark these. Check mark ceremony music. I want to discuss cocktail hour music. I want to discuss dinner hour music. Open dance floor and don't playlist. You will probably check all of those, okay? And we, again, reiterate, you will meet to discuss music preferences